Hello everybody, so today we're going to take a quick look at remote building for Xbox from Unity. This is when you don't actually have access to an Xbox device, but you want to build a UWP project so that you can deploy it later on an Xbox. So the first thing we're going to do, we've got a little sort of sample project here. We don't really care what's in the project. Obviously, if you were doing it yourself, you'd want to check that it all runs fine, that there's no errors and the performance isn't too bad. But we've just used this little sample project here just so that we've got something to show on the other end once we've built the project. So we're going to run over to build settings. And we're going to double check that we are on the correct build settings over here. So obviously we want the correct scenes to be built into our game. And we want to check that we're on UWP because we're using the sort of personal account Xbox developer mode that runs through UWP. Now, obviously when you switch, it will tell you to switch platform, in which case Unity will rebuild the project for UWP. And then once you're at this point, you obviously want to check that you've got some SDKs actually selected, and you want to check there's no little errors around here. If you do have any errors, it might be worth just double checking in your Visual Studio installer that you have the correct UWP tools, which is this V143. And that you've got an SDK correctly installed and you're going to the correct SDK. For us, obviously everything's all fine at this point. And now normally we would hit build and run here if we had an Xbox available to build directly to. However, in this case, we're pretending that you're building elsewhere and that you're going to drop something on the Xbox later. So we're just going to hit build here. We're going to create ourselves a build folder. Also select, and it will build through. Now, important here, once it's built, it will give us a new SLN solution for Visual Studio. This is separate from the one from the main project. It will be inside your build folder. And when you open this up, you'll get a little pop-up. Ignore this. This is not something you actually have to worry about because we're building something that we're going to deploy later. And what we really care about is we're going to double check, number one, that we are on the correct configuration. Now, x64 is what we're aiming for, but sometimes you might find that it comes out as ARM or ARM64. It's not what we want. We want x64. And then whatever you want to go for, either master or debug, depending on what you're trying to do. Obviously, in debug mode, that will show things like output on the screen as a small text message. If you're going to go with master or release, then that will sometimes strip those features out because that's obviously something you want. You don't want the public to be able to see. So we've checked, we're all happy here in x64. We're going to quickly pop up here to build, and we're just going to hit clean solution here. This will just go through and remove any sort of dirty files that have carried across. And once we've done that, we come over to our solution. So we're not actually clicking on this top solution here, we're just clicking on this solution here. And we are going to go down and find ourselves publish and create app packages. We're going for side loading, so we don't care about the App Store. We don't care about anything particularly here, you can just leave this stuff as is. You can obviously give it a version number if you're giving multiple versions and you want to keep them that way. And then down here, we don't care about anything else except x64. So we're going to hit create, and this will take a little bit of time as it builds the solution through. But at the end of it, we'll be provided with an appx bundle and the dependencies needed to just drop onto Xbox. So I'll probably fast forward a little bit here until the end of this. Cool, so now we've got our little appx. It will tell us where it's actually built to, so it will be inside of our build folder, app packages and test project. So if we quickly click on that, it'll open up for us. And in here, you'll be presented with a number of different files. Now, we don't care about most of this stuff, except for the appx bundle here, and the dependencies for x64 just here. So what we're now going to do, we will go over to our Xbox. Just here, we'll go for File Explorer. my apologies, not File Explorer, Home, and we're going to add a game. And this will bring up a little spot just here that we can drop into. So we will go to our appx bundle, we'll find our appx just here, and we'll drop that on. And we'll hit next. Now we'll ask for any dependencies. This is obviously where we go into our little dependencies folder. x64. We'll drop these dependencies on there. We'll hit start. Now this will install the version that we've just popped through. Quite often Xbox will require you to delete any previous versions before it will allow you to do one, but you can obviously just rename the file if necessary, if that becomes a problem for it. So we're just going to hit done there, and there we go. We can actually see our bundle is now on the Xbox, and I shall just test this now. You won't be able to see this, but I'm just on the Xbox now, and yeah, it all runs fine. It's all popped on there. So this will give you the ability to build your projects remotely at home and then bring them in and pop them on an Xbox at a different location. Hopefully this has been useful to you, and thank you very much.